Alright, I actually wasn't going to do a video on this at all, but I see a lot of people struggling with the Royal Rumble live event, which is really just a 10-man over-the-top rope battle royal, but I'm going to show you how I handled it. Now, I'm using the LA Knight Superstar Series 4 because it's the only Superstar Series 4 male I have right now. Right away, you want to just start putting the beat down on your opponent. Now, the key is to alternate between light and heavy attacks. Try to make it so that your opponent doesn't counter you as much as possible. It's inevitable, you just have to be sharp, but it is possible to eliminate the first entrant, The Rock, who will always be the first entrant, before Stone Cold Steve Austin, the second entrant, always makes his way into the ring. Now, you gotta worry about collision detection sometime. Don't worry about it. You don't have to stun him, contrary to popular belief. Just do a little bit damage, like get that green bar as close to diminished as possible, and let him know whose game it is, with everybody saying. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes into the ring, and you give him more of the same. Put him down to the ground, and I'm alternating between light and heavy attacks. Anytime there's distance between us, I want to sprint at him with a heavy attack. It does the most damage to his health bar, and it just seems to have a higher success rate. So, yeah, you will get countered. It's going to happen. Just be cognizant that every time he grapples you, he's going to try to either drag you or Irish whip you to the ropes to go for an elimination, because it is a Royal Rumble, technically. So, just spam circle on the PlayStation or B on the Xbox to get out of an Irish whip, and then throw him over the top rope. And Triple H is really the first test. I recommend just using a finisher if you have one stored, stun him, and then just get him over the top rope. He's very high in overall. We want nothing to do with that. So let's dump him out on his keister and let him know whose game it is again, with everybody saying LA Knight. And yeah, there are probably better Superstar Series 4 people that you could play as for this, but I only have the LA Knight, and I only have him because I needed him for the Superstar of the Month challenge. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any. So in comes The Undertaker. He's a lower overall than Triple H, so we're going to do the same strategy we did with The Rock and Stone Cold at the top. We're just going to try to beat him down, try to diminish his health bar as much as possible, and when you start seeing that 10 count timer in the bottom left corner signifying the next entrant about to make their way to the ring, that's when you want to try to go for the elimination. So grab him, do a strong Irish whip, a light one, whatever your choice, and go for the running attack to dump him out. Now, Kurt Angle, he's tough. He's 94 overall, I believe, so we definitely have to be careful, but let me show you a cool trick. If you can position it just right, boom. A big reason why I like the running strong attacks is because if they're close to the ropes, you can send them right over the top rope. It doesn't matter how much damage they've been dealt. That's really cool, and now we're in control. This is definitely our game. Now here comes Booker T. He's also got a pretty decent overall, so we're going to do the same strategy we did from the top with Austin and Rock from the beginning. Just beat him down, man. He's got a little bit longer of a health bar than Austin and Rock have, but that's okay. We have a finisher, we can stun him and dump him over the top rope. Now what's cool is you see we almost have a full signature bar, so when the next guy comes in, I think it's going to be Rob Van Dam, we can hit him with the People's Elbow, or LA Knight's version of it, and get another finisher, stun him, dump him out, and then from that point you can get the rest of your MFP. You know, at this point, oh, it's actually JBL. Don't worry about your MFP at this point. When we get it down to a one-on-one match with the last entrant, who is Eddie Guerrero, that's when we can get the rest of our 90 MFP. Right now, we just want to make sure we get to that point, right? We want to make sure we get it to a 1v1 situation. So I'm just rinsing and repeating here. JBL, he's pretty beat up after that signature, so I don't have to bother with the finisher, and now I have one locked and loaded for the next entrant, who will be Rob Van Dam this time. Just be aware that they come down to the ring in the same order every single time. So the first two are always going to be pretty easy between Rock and Austin, and then it picks up significantly. So here comes Rob Van Dam. He gets a blunt force trauma for his trouble. Kind of fitting that Rob Van Dam gets the blunt force trauma. Now he's stunned. Let's dump him off over the top rope. And now we're in the clear. All we have to do is get the rest of our MFP. I believe I still need the 10 strikes, because LA Knight is a striker. Your mileage will vary depending on the class of the superstar you're using for this challenge. But if you already have LA Knight, because you did the Superstar of the Month challenge, you picked them up from the card marketplace, then just follow this strategy. The running strong attacks from LA Knight are very good. I like using strikers because it's relatively easy to get their MFP challenges. We need to get our 15 light strikes. Got to be careful not to win the match there, or you have to do it all over again. And then we got to get us head damage onto red. which I always just like to spam the limb attacks by the head. When they're down, I go over to their head, and then I hit circle on the PlayStation controller or B on the Xbox controller, and then follow that up with your face button of choice. I usually go with the weak attack from there, which is square on the PlayStation or X on the Xbox. So don't panic if he does grab you, if he does counter you, it's alright. Just know that he's going to try to dump you over the top rope like we talked about earlier. Anytime the AI grapples you, they're going to try to Irish whip you or drag you over to the ropes, and it looks like it just occurred to Eddie and LA Knight that they are the last two in this match. So I don't know why it took so long for them to do this, but probably because I didn't give him a second to breathe. As soon as he got in the ring, we jumped right down his throat and started spamming him with attacks. So I'll let that be forgiven here. So Eddie's got some fight in him, of course. He's got a good overall, so it's not going to be easy, but as long as you just stay calm and focus on your MFP challenges, be mindful of the top right corner of your screen, for crying out loud. Do not throw him out before you have that 90 out of 90 MFP. And you see here, he's going to pop back up. I'm just going to throw him back to the mat and go back to work with those limb attacks. Once I have a finisher stored, I think I'm going to go ahead and just hit him with a BFT, so that that should finish him off for the red head damage. And then, if he's stunned, that'll be an easy elimination. Well, let me just get one more stomp there. We're busting him open. Boom, how about a fist for your trouble? Now I'm going to go for the BFT because he can't counter it. That should get us up to 90. Bada boom. And now I'm going to try to dump him over the top rope. Of course, he did not stay stunned for long, but that's okay. If I don't get him at first, I can try again. I almost got another signature stored too, so if I need to, then, you know, we'll use that. But I think I'll get him with the next one. I could have just ran at him with the running strong attack, but there is risk involved with that. There we go. Because if he counters you, you could potentially go flying over the top rope, and you will be very upset if that happens. So just be mindful of that. I know I probably made it look a lot easier than it is, but I'm telling you guys, it's not that hard. As long as you stay aggressive and you stay above the timer for the next entrant coming down, if you can keep pace, even down to the final three, I mean, if you fill up the ring a little bit, that's okay. Let the AI work on each other and stuff, but the strategy I'm showing you is soundproof, at least initially for the first few entrants. So if this video was helpful to you guys, let me know in the comments, leave a like, a sub, all that good stuff, and I will catch you guys next time. Until then, be well and take care. Peace.